What's something people don't know about podcast disclaimers? They're the ultimate cover our butts move. All right, folks, let's get real. You know those disclaimers at the start of podcasts? The ones that say these opinions are our own and not our employers, friends, or anyone who might sue us. Yeah, those. Why do we need them? Because Stacey and Casey here, well, we might say something bonkers. And we don't want you blaming our bosses, our moms, or that guy who bagged our groceries last week. Nope, it's all on us, people. Think of it like this. We're just two dudes with microphones and way too much free time. And while we're at it, let's be clear. Our jokes, rants, and random thoughts, purely our own genius or nonsense. Depends on the day, so sit back, relax, and remember, if you're offended, it's definitely not because of our employers. It's all Stacey and Casey, baby. Covering our butts, one disclaimer at a time.
What it do, baby? What it is, jive turkeys? Hey, cold weather and ice cream is what it looked like to me.
Man, I'm loving this.
Which
Dude,
part?
I just had my first bite of this new flavor as we were answering this beginning of the show, and oh my god, this is Bluebell's. Oh, hey, before I get started,
Show it to him. It's too late now. You already started.
All right, there it is. All right, look at that.
What flavor we got?
We got peanut butter chocolate overload. And when I first read it, I thought it said Overlord, and I thought it was even cooler.
Thought you were going to be the king, the ruler of the ice cream aisle.
But you know what? I was going to get the lemon, and I went with this instead because I haven't had it or the lemon, and I think I can eat more of this than the lemon, and I'm hungry. And my wife, who's probably watching right now, hey, babe, I know you asked earlier, what'd you get to eat at Deerberg's? I said, chips and some snacks. This is the snacks. This is my dinner. So, well, I hope your pasta was good. I'm having ice cream for dinner.
Well, I'm Stacey.
I'm Casey.
And this is the
Casey and Stacey show.
Hey, well, as you know, we're dealing with a subarctic blast at the moment here in the Midwest. It is ridiculously fucking cold. Ridiculously fucking cold.
It is literally colder outside than this ice cream is.
-6 wind chill, I think, is what I seen last. It was like 5 degrees.
At the lowest it got down to, I think we're at like -16 in Wright City at one point.
That's fucking insane.
Dude, when I say I opened up the front door to walk outside really quick, I had a little moisture on my hand. I grabbed the fucking storm door. My fucking hand stuck to it. And I like turned back and go, what the fuck?
Literally.
It
is fucking freezing. Get out of the car, walking back from the break. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, normally the warmth from the heat, you know what I mean, will keep you cool or warm until you get in the building.
Mm-hmm.
I'm 7 steps away, telling me, what the fuck? I had a hot-ass coffee when I left my house this morning. By the time I got to my desk, it was drinkable. I could not fucking believe it. I was just in disbelief. Dude. Oh, look, Paula, ice cream for dinner. That's grown-ass man shit.
That's funny because I was bragging to Stacy Jr. upstairs when you guys weren't looking. I was like, I showed him the ice cream. I was like, look how much ice cream I got. Because I'm an adult and I can do whatever I want.
Hey, you know what? I'll be like, I want ice cream.
Dude, and it's so cold that this morning when I went out to the chicken coop to tend to the chickens, my dog went with me, Lucius, and he went around, did his thing, took his dump. And I was down there for a while, too long, where his paws were so cold. He started doing that limp thing where he doesn't want to touch the ground. I had to pick him up and carry him the second half to the house.
When we let Angel
and he's a German Shepherd, like a hardcore dog.
I mean, it's just that cold, really.
It's that cold.
Angel's older, but when we let her out, we have to warm her paws when she comes back in, like so much that she can barely get up the steps. And I think really what it is that heavier they are, the more pressure on the snow, so the colder they get. Because Pablo, little bitty ass, he just runs around, jumps on it, and ain't shit to him. You know what I mean? But then again, he was the dumbass that the first time he saw snow went flying out there, loved it. You know what I mean? Angel has always hated any precipitation coming from the sky. So it doesn't matter. Snow, rain, whatever, she don't fuck with water. So,
well, I heard that, I read.
What's going on, Jared?
I read somewhere that dogs don't like rain because their ears are sensitive to the drops that hit the ground. So
stop yapping, bro. Valerie Henry.
What? Stop what?
Yapping, bro.
Stop yapping.
I don't know what that means.
Shut up.
I guess whatever. But anyway, the bosses, how y'all doing? What's going on, Jared?
What's up?
But keep going. What you talking about? Let me interrupt you. I was thrown off.
No, I was just saying dogs don't like the rain because of the sound in their ears. Their ears are sensitive.
That's funny because Pablo has no issue with the rain. But then again, there's times that I think the dog's retarded. So it doesn't matter.
I think he said he hates precipitation.
That's Angel.
Oh, Angel.
Angel hates precipitation. But also, Angel was a stray that we rescued her. And I think she understands that rain is not okay. She's been in the house and a house dog long enough to know that's not cool. I've lived in it. Where Pablo's like, I've never got to experience this shit. So, but as far as the reason we're bringing up this crazy ass weather and just really talking about it is there's just so much shit going on, and I want to expose it. I don't know if people have seen it, the Detroit flooding, the fucking Kentucky flooding. First off, what would you do if you're in your house, water main breaks, it's below freezing, we're in this subarctic condition, and your fucking front yard turns to this? Car alarms going off. Ice so thick, car alarms going off.
That is bananas. That's like apocalyptic looking stuff. That's like literally the day after tomorrow footage.
It feels like the day after tomorrow is going on. Like, next has to be the earthquakes. All the water we've had, and this is what I was thinking about. We're on a fault line. We've had all the snow, all the rain, all the flooding. It has to go down, right? It's going to run down. It's going to go in the river. So we're going to see more flooding coming. This is just the beginning. This is how it works. Just anytime you have massive snow, massive rain, there's always flooding going down the rivers. But if it's freezing like this, what does the insurance company say to that? Sir, your engine block was frozen solid. Like, the fuck? Do you know what I mean? Like,
I should know the answer to that after taking my
yeah.
I passed my property and casualty test like 2 years ago. So I forgot all the answers. So
that's a natural disaster. I believe it would have to be covered. But
my water got shut off the other day due to the cold. We gotta keep a heater in the well house. Anybody in the country has a well, you got a heater in the well house, and you just leave it, to where it's above freezing level. Well, it got so flipping cold that when it got like to -6, it froze up. I went to go. I flushed the toilet in the morning. That was the last of the water. Dang. So yeah, pipes froze. I had to crank up the heat and everything inside the well house. So yeah, it's hitting different levels, dude. It's like breaking levels, records and shit. But we want to know your stories too. If you got any good cold stories or anything that's postable, throw them in there. And right now, this is what really sucks. Right now, we have no heat. My wife and I.
Damn.
Yeah.
I remember you saying.
Yeah, the propane tank went out, and instead of filling it up, we're gonna muscle it out for a fucking month. We can get through it. We're fucking soldiers. So, yeah, we got space heaters set up. We got a heated blanket my parents gave me. 2 space heaters my parents gave me. Sweaters my parents. Your job as a parent is to keep your kids warm. I found out in the last couple of days. I was like, wow, all this stuff came from my parents. They kept me warm. Good job, Mom and Dad.
That's real shit.
That's real shit.
They did their job.
Yeah, props. Thanks, Mom.
Shout out to the parents. They're always doing it right. We still got blankets we use.
John gave me the new heater, too, so he was really looking out for me.
Good
He gave me the good one.
Well, when I think about that, and that's just the first set, right? This is the second set. This is Kentucky, okay? This is insane. Like, think about how deep this water is. That's a Goodwill store, right? Up the side of the building. What the fuck? What is happening?
Yeah, what are these insurance companies doing? Because I know...
Going bankrupt?
Not paying people?
Hey, something's got to be coming. Hey, man, they're backing out of fucking fire areas. Look, hey, you better hope your claim can be paid and that the insurance company is there tomorrow.
Wouldn't it be bananas if everybody just started canceling their insurance? You know, they can cancel you saying, "Oh, we have a huge disaster coming your way. We're gonna have to cancel everybody's insurance. Sorry, we can't." What if everybody said, "You know what? We can't pay this
Sky
shit
looks
anymore.
good. We're gonna go ahead and cancel."
Yeah, we don't need it right now, and I'm gonna take my chances.
They'd seed the clouds, hit us with hail, and make us all regret that we ever got rid of insurance.
So what if you injure somebody? You need money for their medical bills. Hospitals suck
remember what we
anyways.
went through? Hey, we went through a hell of a hailstorm. I couldn't imagine going through that without insurance.
Yeah, that's true. My insurance
I'm
got me
not
my
risking
truck. My truck is the
Now,
love of my life.
hey, want to talk about insurance? You want to know who I hope they got really good insurance, and they're offering these people $30,000 a person, by the way, right? To just walk, just leave it where it's at, no strings attached, all because of this.
Oh, fuck. Oh, fuck. Oh, no, 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 no. Tower, you're seeing this airplane just crash into Greek. Oh.
First, he's pretty fucking calm to see a plane flip and crash. Like, don't you think? I mean, that's just the weird thing of the video to me.
I heard the panic is no. That you can tell that was sincere.
Yeah, see your dog running out in the street. You're watching a fucking jet crash. You're like, I guess maybe the panic, but when it flipped, I think there should have been like a whoa, something more dramatic. I'm just saying. Not saying it's fake by any means. I'm just saying that we're so desensitized that didn't even phase you. You watched a plane flip on the runway, and all you could do was no. Sound like Matumbo in this motherfucker.
To put it in perspective, there's been a lot of plane crashes lately and helicopter crashes. So it was just another one in my book. It was like, hey, I got this one on video.
It wasn't to me, and I'm gonna
every plane I see, I'm whipping out my phone.
When I first heard it, I'm with you. I was just like, oh, another plane crash. Then you hear it flip. You're like, I ain't never heard of a fucking plane flipping.
I figured that one out.
Right.
I figured out the flip.
Okay.
Women can't drive in the snow.
I mean, this is true. I mean, you look around. I mean, majority of the crashes.
We'll say the majority of women can't drive in the snow.
There are the few that really got that wheel. But we say that, and it's funny because Delta's one of their newest ads. Just so happens to be.
Did somebody say slave?
That is fucking
funny. Minus the plane going through the window. That wasn't part of that.
That's DEI going from DEI to DIE at the end. No, it was, yeah, that's a legit thing.
I think that's the results of DEI.
It's unmanned flights for that specific portion of the airline. It's smaller planes, no men pilots, no flight crew, and they have all these advertisements and stuff on Twitter and stuff and X bragging about this. And I'm sorry, when you book your flight and you find the quickest flight possible at the cheapest rate, do you think that like they disclose it in there? Like, by the way, like BTW.
I don't think Delta didn't think cheap, but it's crazy because I was surprised when I saw it was Delta, to tell the truth. Because when I fly, I feel secure flying Delta. Not endorsing anybody, not paid by anybody, just a straight up. I like their flights. I know that they have jets that when you fly first class, you can get single rows on one side, double on the other. Gives you the convenience of when you're flying alone. They're pretty quick. But after seeing this and seeing that their planes flip, you know what I'm saying? Like, I have to ask myself, do I want to fuck with this? Because one part of this is supposedly there were no casualties. Mm-hmm. Shout out. That's great.
Good job.
However, you flipped a whole fucking plane on the runway. Like, I have yet to see this in all my days. All my days. 36 years. When's the last time you seen a plane do a barrel roll when it wasn't in the air?
Grand Theft Auto about 5 years ago.
Yeah, they've been playing that a little too much. I think we're starting to look. You were talking about life as a simulation, right? And I started thinking about the Hadron Collider and CERN.
Mm-hmm.
And I started thinking about GTA 6, right? And how it had so many, they had people suing them out of Miami because they had so many similarities to these people. These were regular people off the street. What if we are a simulation and we're about to play our simulation? Like, that would be crazy.
Since you brought that up, and maybe people can relate to this. You know, people say, "Oh, I'm a face person. I always recognize the face." I've noticed the same cookie cutter, like when you pick an icon for a face in like Wii or any fucking video game.
Mhm.
I can tell like everybody is part of a certain category face, other than like Corky from like Life Goes On or something. But everybody's a friggin' like cookie cutter. I see the same friggin' face on so many people. It's like, dude, this is getting pretty obvious at this point. Now, am I the only one, or do you ever see somebody you go, "Oh my god, that dude looks just like a Phil Calcara face," you know, or for example, or
Yeah. I mean,
you know what I mean?
no, not really, not him particular.
Oh, I'll see. It's just like you see like so and so
I
looks like
think
a certain
Brad
celebrity.
Pitt. Like you see a
Yeah,
Brad Pitt
and that's
face, yeah.
easy to relate. And that's my point exactly. Now, Brad Pitt, other than the fact he's a celebrity, is an average show. Denzel Washington, average show.
They're all average.
They're all average Joes with if they weren't in the limelight. So
That's
the
what makes
fact
them
that they
great
have all
actors.
these lookalikes and stuff, I don't know.
So have you seen
Everybody
the
has a
theory
lookalike.
of They Live Forever? Of like they got picture of these people from the 1800s to now that they look alike, they look similar. Have you ever seen those?
And I wouldn't be surprised with what I just said.
I'll start sending you more, but it's crazy because are they time travelers? Are they vampires? Are they witches? Right? Like I don't really know, but it seems like some of these people have been around for a while and now they're just now dying off. And I don't even know if they're really dying off, but neither here nor there.
I think we are in some sort of a simulation or a game, and the higher ups are fucking up right now.
Well, they've been fucking up since the first time they went through the Mandela effect and they took the cornucopia out of the Fruit of the Luma logo or the Bernstein Bears. And like, but what are they going to fuck up this time?
Well, they fucked up a phone call the other day.
Tell me about this. I want to hear this.
Okay, check this out. I was thinking about this all my way into my place of work this morning. Yesterday, okay, let me set the stage. I'm at work. I'm talking to a potential client. About a 45-minute phone call. I don't mess with my cell phone like, not supposed to. At work. I leave it on the side, whatever. After talking to this customer for so long, only giving my first name, older gentleman, hard of hearing, can barely see. We get disconnected off the phone. So I do what we're supposed to do and I call him back. Go straight to voicemail. Immediately, I noticed with the corner of my eye, my phone's blowing. This guy told me that, he lived in a certain state, but he was calling from a different state. The same state was popping up on my cell phone. I was like, that's a weird fucking coincidence. This is a newer phone number. So for the hell of it, I answered my phone. And the guy in his old man voice said, "Did you just hang up on me?" I swear to God, the hairs on my back of my neck went up. This guy didn't have my full name. He didn't have my phone number. All he knew was my first name and the company I work for, which if you're good on computers, you can do a search and you can figure that out. Then go to Real People Search and do a check on that. See if you can see if my new phone numbers even in there.
Yeah, but we're going to tell people how to search people.
I swear to God, all I can figure is that we're in some sort of a simulation. This is all bullshit. And whoever is up, the higher ups I'm talking about, whoever's in control of the fucking phones yesterday was hungover on Star Juice or whatever the fuck thing they drink up there. And they were supposed to make my phone ring with this customer. And instead they made my cell phone ring on accident. And every time I thought about it this morning on my way into work, this same song kept coming on. Bo Burnham, The Chicken, which I do love that song. It's in my favorites. My conspiracy goes deep because every single time I start putting heavy thought, that song would come back on. But my phone's on random. It should go through all my songs, not just play the chick. I was like, my phone's trying to distract me with one of my favorite songs to get my mind off this stuff because they know I'm onto something right now. They're looking into my thoughts. So before I get killed off or something, or some Mandela effect wipes me clean out of this existence, know that there's people up there. They're in control of everything. We're in a fucking dome. That's why rainbows are like this. And yeah, we're all programmed with different faces.
So are you saying that the Earth is flat if you're saying that we're in a dome?
Yes.
Are you saying the Bible is real, that we're in a firmament?
Oh, the Bible. I haven't gotten that deep, man.
The Bible says we're in a firmament. If you believe we're in a dome, that's the only place that establishes that theory.
I think the Bible was made up to scare little kids. The government is like the Bible. They kind of make you fear death to be good, or things equivalent to death. I think government and religion are the same kind of control.
Of ways to treat people, and a book of ethics and morals that people used for financial gain through churches. Because even in the Bible, it tells you the church isn't in a building; it's where people congregate. So, I mean, I have my own theories on that as far as religion. I'm a 100%. I believe in Christian. I am a Christian. I believe in Jesus Christ. But at the same time, control has always been of the mass. Has always been a focus of people in power.
I agree. And control. And how do you control a group of people before there's the internet? You get them all together. How do you get everybody together way back in the days where there's no TV or nothing like that or radio? Religion, get them together, and that's our mind control. And that just carries on to our current day.
We have no dome. We can see stars and galaxies. Well, I have an argument for that because the fact that the reflecting of the water on glass portrays stars. You can go online and do zoom ins. You see these videos of people zooming in on stars, and it literally looks like water. It's one of my favorite videos I seen recently was a guy lighting a firework under ice and shooting the rocket. And what it does, it goes in a straight line, then it starts causing a wave of bubbles, then it pops, and it looks just like Elon's rocket. When it went up, it was going a straight line, then all of a sudden it started ridging out, and then boom, blows up. I 100% believe that we're in a dome, and who's to say that even with religion, who's to say it isn't a simulation, right? You know what I mean? Like, what if you do it all right, right? And you get reincarnated, and that's your next playable character.
Yeah.
Right? All energy is dispersed a different way. Now, if you do life right, you get to come back as that, chameleon or whatever you talked about in your group of friends, right? But if you do life wrong, you got to come back with a shitty family or a stray dog, or you know what I mean? Like some shit that you would never want to be. You're like, fuck, what did I do?
On a higher level, if I truly believe that all life is equal and everybody, every life should be valued, even if you're in the worst of situations, like your life for 16 seconds, you're born in a coffee can under a bridge by a crackhead, and you get hit by a bus, you had no chance of life. But they say the fact that you were alive and you were there, that's a beautiful enough experience, even though the odds were against you. You can't. You have to look at every.
Yeah, I don't know. No,
I don't know. I'm getting a little deep.
I was like, I don't.
Alan watched shit, but no. But anyway.
So past asteroid and meteorite history is made up. So I will simply say, show me the proof outside of a crater. That's all I'm going to say. If you can show me the proof outside of a crater, right, then we can talk. When you can show that NASA does a lot of its projects in Greenland and Iceland, and you can show that a lot of things are done underwater, you can prove that we've never been to outer space. I think the greatest fear tactic you could ever have is we're all going to die. We're all going to get hit by an asteroid. And right now we're seeing it play out. They're telling us there's this asteroid that might hit us in 2027. Hey, man, I've been hearing about asteroids and shit forever. Okay? We've been here a long time. How the fuck have we not gotten hit with another big one? All that shit that quote unquote flies around in space? And you mean to tell me this rock ain't been hit by shit, but we got videos of shit hitting Saturn all the time? Shit hitting the moon. How? We ain't even been to the moon. You know what I mean? Like, me and you were talking about this earlier. Fuck,
yeah,
the
I was
moon
just going to bring
real?
that up. The moon today, and that's funny because...
What animal went extinct due to a meteor?
Dinosaurs.
There's plenty of documentation that says dinosaurs weren't even real. Show me one true dinosaur skeleton that is whole. Dinosaurs didn't even come into existence until Darwinism, when they tried to prove that men came from ape. And then all of a sudden, right after that, all of a sudden they had them finding dinosaur bones. They've never found a true dinosaur bone. The one that they said they found that they thought was the realest turned out to be man-made, fabricated from other bones. There's no documentation on cave walls of dinosaurs. There's not.
Yeah, that's a really good point. I've never heard that before.
But when you think about it, you hear about dragons. And if you're going to talk about dragons, and people talk about the T-Rex, and they talk about certain things about these animals, if the dinosaur was real, were they as big as they say? They say chickens are the closest descendant to dinosaurs.
Chickens are the best.
But who's to say that that wasn't a dragon? There's no documentation. I'll tell you, Paula, I've done a lot of research into this. There's no documentation, true documentation of dinosaurs walking along man. They had one fossil come out where they had a quote-unquote dinosaur footprint next to a man footprint. They don't have cave paintings of these. They have cave paintings of what they believe now has been interpreted to be giraffes. And they thought were long-necked dinosaurs. So it's one of those things that all kind of ancient animals. I've watched a lot. And you're right, there are ancient animals. That would say there's evolution, right? We don't know about ancient animals because the one thing that they will say about science, they will try to fabricate it to make it make sense. Dinosaurs, we don't know how they sounded, what they looked like, but yet we have fossils of them. And we have them in the Smithsonian, where they don't have any true documentation. But you know what they do have at the zoo? Or not at the zoo, at the Smithsonian? Giant bones.
Yeah, giant bones.
And you know what giant bones will do? Giant bones give proof to the Bible, right? This is another proof of the Bible and things that have been talked about. Giants.
Why do giants prove to the Bible?
No, I'm saying the David and Goliath story, right? When you talk about, was there a giant? Did this story really happen? It's not saying that this is proof, but I'm saying this is a possibility that it could have taken place. And there's more legitimacy there than anywhere else. But as far as the new theory of dinosaurs being fake, that's been around for a while. And the fact that they did come out in the 1800s, about 1863, I believe, was the first time that there was a real life dinosaur fossil found. And I could be wrong. It could be 43, but you're going to be surprised the knowledge I know when you start researching it. You're like, damn, that weird dude knows some weird shit.
No,
I'm telling you.
I did a lot of research into dinosaurs too. And that's how I know when they hunt, one of them follow me. One will look at you in the eye right here, right? When they're hunting you. And the other one over here will eat you. Did you know that, Mr. Dinosaur Man?
Considering dinosaurs weren't real, I don't believe it. But as far as wolves, that sounds like some shit a wolf would do.
Well, that was Jurassic Park right there. It's some, Yeah, I was just joking, man.
I just will say that I think there's a lot of things that we've been lied to, and I only got into that conversation because me and Paula were talking about it. She's interacting with us.
Well, the moon thing is real. I've been saying that last few days. Every single time I go outside, I've been like, "Where's the moon? Oh, there it is.
You always
there it is. There it is. You always see it." And I've been bringing that up a lot. Just like I was thinking about the whole shit in my truck when I kept playing the same song. I walked out of work this morning, couldn't find the moon. It's the first time in forever. I think because I've been yapping about it too much. Or like, Casey's on to us. We'll make sure he can't see us right now. The people in that area. I don't know what the fuck.
Everybody say it with me. He's on some good drugs. No, as far as for the moon, I will say growing up, I didn't know. I thought you didn't see the moon and the sun at the same time, but now supposedly that's normal.
And just to play it safe, whenever you're outside, you see the moon, people around you or not, just talk to it. Say something. Be like, I'm on to you. I know what the fuck's going on. Point at it like this, and they really look like you're gonna do some shit. And that's what I do.
I would love to see tomorrow people at work outside in a group.
That's what I do.
You motherfucker, I know what you're on, motherfucker. I know you're looking at me.
No, I know people were looking at me like I was crazy this morning or yesterday morning, was it? I took that video of the geese outside of the thing.
Yeah.
I was walking up in the parking lot. I was like, man, that's a lot of geese out of frozen pond. Oh, I'll take that video for this show. So I went there. I laid down on the ground for like 2 minutes just taking a still video, and I was like, man, if anybody's looking at me right now, laying in the snow, it's -6 out. I probably look like a
Fucking
psychopath.
crazy person.
Yeah, it was cold. But I had my bibs on.
And they were fucking Arctic snowbirds.
And guess who?
That shit was
And
crazy.
guess who bought me my bibs?
Of course, Paula.
My parents. They keep me warm. I told you. It was my birthday gift.
You did tell me that.
Yeah.
Hey, that's hella funny.
44th birthday. So,
what's the best birthday gift you ever got?
oh man, best birthday gift I've ever gotten. And I think Paula made me wet burritos for my birthday. It was something Paula gave me. No, I don't know. My best birthday gift ever. I couldn't even tell you. What's your best birthday gift ever? Can
I
you
have
think
no
of it?
idea.
Yeah, I mean, I've gotten so many nice things over the years. It's really hard. And my birthday's right next to Christmas. My birthday is December 30th.
Yep.
Yeah, so
I shouldn't limit the greatness of Christmas.
like, what was for my birthday? What was for Jesus's birthday? It's hard to. I mean, they're both just as important as what most people say, but they're all just 5 days apart.
I was just thinking about, the greatness depreciating over time, that now that we can't ever really think of that great one because we've gotten everything we want.
I tell Paula all the time that if I die tomorrow, I can say I died a happy man and I died doing what I love.
Cocaine and strippers.
Cocaine and strippers. No. Actually, even growing
I
up,
wanted to see your reaction. You were like,
no.
no.
I've never been a fan of strip clubs. Besides,
Waste of money.
I got all the boobies and butt at home.
Hey. I'm going to send them home with a playlist for you, Paula.
Yeah.
It's called the Strip Club Anthem. It's called A Strip. It's vibes. You got an iPhone. I'm going to send it to you.
She used to be in dance class.
I didn't. This is for y'all. This is y'all private life. You don't need to give me.
She can boogie.
Hey, get down with the get down. Hey, I can boot scoot and boogie too. What you talking about?
Man, I can whip all day long.
And watch him, Nene. Hey, because he does do this all day long at work. Now, when we were talking earlier, we were talking about celebrities and normal people and how they look normal, right?
Mm-hmm.
Who do you think is the most normal looking celebrity? Like, he just looks like some creep you pass in the streets. He doesn't look like he'd be a celebrity.
That one dorky guy, he's also a comedian. He's on Saturday Night Live. Pete, no. Oh, he's a comedian. He dates all the girls.
Pete Davidson.
Yeah, Pete Davidson.
I thought Will Ferrell.
Will Ferrell? Oh, God.
He's just a basic looking, ordinary guy. He's had some really great hits. One of my favorite movies all time, and for a lot of people, I think their favorite movie of all, a lot of them, Step Brothers. One of the best comedies ever.
There's so many movies you could have listed. And I would
Anchorman
yes.
2.
Anchorman 1, Anchorman 2, Talladega Nights.
Talladega Nights. Did you see the
Nights.
Ricky Bobby in NASCAR?
No.
Dude, I'm sending you after the show. That's what we should have played today. There's a dude that was in the I'm going to play it for you.
How about the other guys? The other guys is pretty damn funny. We watch that all the time as a background movie.
You think the other guys is funnier than Step Brothers?
Who?
I'm asking.
In what, Step Brothers?
Yes.
Who do I think is funnier?
No, I'm saying you think the other guys. The movie.
Oh, the movie, the other guy. I thought you were talking about his kid. Ice cream and weed. No, it's I don't know which one's funnier. Man, Step Brothers. Yeah, you
by
can't
far,
go.
I'm like,
by far.
Can't
Yeah.
go
Boats and hoes. Oh God.
And the reason I bring it up is sometimes I think like all great things, they come to an end, right?
Yep.
And we talked about the Kendrick show last week, and you brought it to my attention because I didn't see this skit. So for those of you who did see it, Will Ferrell did a Saturday Night Live skit making fun of Kendrick Lamar, which now we know is the most watched Super Bowl of all time. So the reason I bring that up is I think this here, like Casey said, this might be the death of his career, the demise of it. It shows the downfall.
This is actually, I'm surprised this wasn't made a bigger deal of, to be honest with you. And so
French, Italian, Chinese, and and it's probably a
We see the demographic of the crowd.
A bunch of Hollywood elites crying, laughing.
No, this is the same people that were just applauding him at the concert, at the Grammys.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
All the people that just loved his performance now clapping for him.
Yeah, and for anybody who didn't know, it was the 50 years of Saturday Night Live, and they had some
Shout out
big things.
Saturday Night Live.
All the everybody who was on the shows came back to watch. It was there in the stands.
They used to be great.
They used to be great. And Will Ferrell, I mean, when I saw that, and after doing the deep dive into like the Kendrick Lamar and like why he was getting down on Drake and the kind of person Drake is, and Kendrick, he's so smart with his words, and there's so many rabbit holes in every song, and it's all so meaningful. You start looking into it, you're like, wow. And he's pretty much dissing Drake for being a pedophile.
Facts.
And
who comes to support him?
And who comes to support him?
And masqueraded as a joke.
Will fucking Ferrell. And
we know he's on the list.
God damn, every single fucking time, man. It's like, shut the fuck up, just act and be funny.
Do your job.
You were so cool back in the day.
Stay in your lane.
Stay in your fucking lane.
We like to laugh at you, not with you.
God, what was the last funny movie he did? I think it was the Other Guys for me.
I did watch a pretty good movie. I can't even remember the name of it now over the weekend. It had a little pretty good meaningful thing to it, but it was really weird because the whole time I thought he was fucking a stepdaughter. Or it wasn't even his stepdaughter, it was his daughter in the movie. Mm-hmm. Like, I thought he was fucking her. It was just a weird... Even people in the movie thought... Like, that's what's crazy, is people in the movie thought that this motherfucker was fucking his daughter. So it's like, you even have a weirder vibe to it. It's
creepy. Everything Must Go, being an alcoholic, that was a pretty good movie if you're an alcoholic or ever... You know, that's a good movie I can relate. But he did a movie recently where his coming out friend, they did a road trip across. We talked about it on one of the shows. And they stopped at places and made scenes about him being a trans woman or whatever. It was just, he's going down that lane, and it just looks
he's
really
too busy
shitty.
Trying to be woke that he's going to lose his original audience. We liked you because you were raunchy and pushed the limits.
Yeah.
Now you want to be woke and for the vibe. Hey, bro, you got rich off of our generation, not the new generation. And I think a lot of celebrities need to remember who their audience is. Because you got rich off us, right? Mm-hmm. We're now turning into the people that like rom-coms and fucking drama and fucking thrillers and like adapt. You're no longer able to play like a teenager. You're no longer able to play these weird, creepy fucking... You look like a creep if you're playing a weirdo dating a young bitch in a movie. Like, just call it what it is. Move on. Grow.
We lost Tom Hanks. Tom Hanks, on the same 50-year Saturday Night Live show, Tom Hanks went on a Black Jeopardy, which apparently they just redid an old thing they did from 2016. But Tom Hanks redid his character to come off as a racist MAGA supporter. So they had a MAGA hat. He tried to look like just a white dumb white dude. And when the host of the show, that one funny black comedian guy, he went to go shake his hand. He went, oh, like this, like he was trying to come at him or something. It was like, oh, it was so ugly. Apparently, he's getting huge backlash for that.
I just want to know why MAGA supporters have to be considered racist.
God, because that's the only card they can try to pull, because that's the one thing that people don't like to be called if you're white. Call them a racist. No, I'm not.
You know what's funny is I know black people, we joke about being racist.
Mm-hmm.
Like, real shit. Like, when I look at, let's call it what it is. You look at TikTok. Yeah. Asians make jokes about Asians and get rich. They're comedians. Asian comedians that make fun of Asians. Indians that make fun of Indians. Black people that make fun of black people. White people that make fun of white people. You know what else is crazy? They all make fun of different races too. Are they racist? No. Right? Like, I think we're at a point in time, race is overplayed. Mm-hmm. There is still oppression. Don't get me wrong. There are people still oppressed. But I think that every day it happened because I was black and it happened because I was white is out of the window. And I will say that I feel like, I'm just going to call it what it is. I think white men are more attacked than any other race right now because you say one thing. Fuck, let's call it what it is. I made a joke at work, had Casey wear something. It turned into a whole situation. Like, having friendly banter used to be allowed between friends. But now, because the other friend group across the parking lot heard your friend's jokes and they don't like you, it's a problem. Stay the fuck out of my conversation. Like, I remember when you heard shit you didn't like, you walked the fuck off. You didn't run to HR. You didn't go bitch, because guess what? I'm on my break. I'm talking to my group of friends. I'm not talking to you, and it's not targeted at you. If you chose to come join our conversation, don't get upset. One of my biggest pet peeves at work are people that need attention. Forgive me for going on a little rant here.
No, I enjoy it.
As an adult, we come to the workplace to work. It's not a fashion show. It's not a contest of how much money can we spend on shit. It is who can make the most money in this motherfucker while we're here. I don't need your attention. You don't hurt my feelings if you choose not to talk to me. 9 times out of 10, I didn't even fucking know. And then when you tell me that you went out of your way to not talk to me because you felt some type of way, I feel even more awkward because I didn't fucking notice. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I don't know what you're saying. I feel like we're talking about
a
specific
particular
person.
people, and we'll talk about it. But I'm just saying, like, I think you need to remember the workplace isn't a place for you to gather friends. Me and Casey are a rare thing here. You don't go to work trying to find your best friends. That's not what happens. You might find people that you have like-minded things and you become friends. Totally different. But just because people sit next to you at work does not mean they're your friend. You know what I mean? And that's life. You get these people at the grocery store that want to just start fucking talking to you. And I really believe at this point it's because I'm 6'5", over 300 pounds. You're just fucking nervous. You're so fucking scared that you just start talking. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't care about anything to do with anybody else's life. I'm selfish. I'm ignorant. I don't care. I don't care if, let's call it what it is, you lost a kid. If you don't talk to us, I don't give a fuck. If you're not part of my social circle, why should I give a fuck? When did it become such a big? No, I'm saying I do. But I'm saying, when did it become such a big thing in this world that I'm supposed to give a fuck about you? Like, I'm a Christian and I care. If you were getting burning to death, I'm gonna try to put you out. Don't get me wrong. Like, if you're in physical danger, I'm gonna try to help you. I don't need to know about every fucking problem in your life. I don't. And if it's because you're nervous and you find yourself talking to a person randomly this week, look inside and ask you, what the fuck are you afraid of, and why the fuck are you talking to them? Because they probably don't want to talk to you. Again, I digress. I'm sorry. I just really needed to vent that, and it came out of nowhere. But
no, I'm glad you said that, because as somebody like myself who sometimes gets a little chatty Cathy, and I have the ability in my later times here in life where I can step out of my body, see myself talking sometimes, and go, wow, I'm annoying as fuck. Shut the fuck up. This person's giving you every sign in the world that they don't want to talk to you. They're looking at their phone. They're pretending something's coming up at their computer, and you're just talking. And at that point, I can tell I have to get it out, whether they're listening or not.
hey, look, that's fine. And if
I recognize that about myself, and I know,
and that's, but guess what? You at least recognize it.
Yeah.
There are some people that I've literally asked the person this week, why are you still talking? Dead ass. Like, why?
Person that sits behind you?
No.
Oh.
They were steadily going. I'm trying to go in the building. It's cold as fuck. I'm already smoking a cigarette. And they're just talking. Like, and I'm not disrespectful and rude. I felt like a customer for a minute. Like, I'm trying to get the fuck out of here, but I can't hang up the phone. Like, so I finally get to the point. I literally just, in the middle of me saying I gotta go in, it's cold, I literally said, why are you still talking?
Dude, I feel you, dude. And that's earlier when I said tell them that, I was thinking of a very similar situation where somebody was trying to one up a conversation over and over. Everything you said, that had come up with something else. I was bringing up magnets, talking about magnet fishing, and how I got this thing up on my fridge right now. It's a real powerful magnet. Somebody had to up me on the story and say, oh, you got to be careful with those. I actually have one on the coffee table. and it messed with my TV all the way from the coffee table. It distorted the picture. And I used to work at Charter Communications for like 11 years. I saw the transition from tube TVs to digital. I was like, how long ago did this happen? He's like, like 4 or 5 years. I was like, oh, so it's a high definition TV. I was like, yeah, that didn't happen. He was like, what does this look like? What do you mean? And at that point, I knew he was full of shit. And I even read him some shit online. I was like, after I already made my point and he knew that I knew what I was talking about, I re-upped a second time, went into some research, and said, yeah, it even says right here. And like, he's like, I get it. I feel like an idiot.
Yeah.
But since then, I feel as if no longer does he do that, and we get along so much better. And if I hadn't have done it, I swear to God, I probably would have pulled my hair out by now.
And so it's funny because somebody at work tried to check me one day and was like, we were talking about some shit. And I do know a lot of people. I've done a lot of things in my life. I know a lot of people, just random facts of shit. And we're talking about something and she snaps out. She's like, you've done everything. I said, no. I said, but I am 36 and I didn't live under a rock. I was like, so unfortunately, I don't know how old you are, which I found out they were 25. And I was like, I can understand now why you probably haven't had some of these life experiences and it blows your mind, right? None of this shit is fucking fascinating. The flat tire, lived it. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're mad at me that I've lived through bad life experiences? No, I was poor. Okay, yeah. So I know what happens when you're poor.
I actually started noticing how many people have like grew up in Missouri and never has been anywhere. They might have had a rough life or down that path, but shit, dude, I was born in California. I joined the Marine Corps, went to Hawaii, settled here, but I've been all over and shit. It's like, and I've tried everything. I've surfed. I've done this. I've done that. And I've even had situations where I almost see my demise. I see my death, and it scares me to the point where I want to try to do more shit that makes me,
feel alive.
Feel alive. And same reason sometimes you got to tell some people to shut the fuck up because you're gonna regret it one day. It's like, man, I probably would have done that person a favor.
I should have. I really do in my mind when I say shit to people. Sometimes I'm like, maybe I'm the first person that's ever told them. So I need to deliver this lightly. So the first go round is always like a light blow, like, hey, not right now, bad time. No, hey, nobody gives a fuck. That's the level 2. You know what I'm saying? It goes there really quick if you don't get the message, right? Like, so you don't really hear me outside. If we're talking about work, I'll talk about work stories. You don't really hear me outside telling stories about my life, right? Like, that's not a normal thing you hear. So, like, if you do come out and I'm talking to somebody about my life, I probably fuck with them. But if I'm at work and you're asking me a question about some shit, have I ever lived this? And then I'm like, yeah. And then you get upset that I have. Well, I can't help you there. Like, and it really does go through my head. Like you just said, people haven't been cultured. People haven't been anywhere. Like, dude, you want to know one of the best things to do when I was younger, when I'd get really pissed? Get in the car and fucking drive. We're just going to see some shit. We're going to go a direction we've never went, and we're just going to keep going until we decide either we don't have the money to keep going and we got enough money to go back. You know what I'm saying? Or something calls me back. But
I'm like the same thing, but older, but I'm more cost efficient. I'm just going to start walking.
California, shit like that. In good climate, you could do that. But yeah. I just think that more people need to, instead of doubting other people live, why don't you try it? Why don't you say, hey, what made you try that? If somebody says they skydived and you're like, no, you didn't.
God, I want to skydive.
I like if I hear that, I'm like, what made you do it? Right? Like it may have been a birthday celebration. A lot of people do it for you know what I'm saying, mile markers in their life type thing. I ask questions like that. I don't doubt that you did it. Now, when your story comes out and like you said with the tube TV type thing, and you say certain shit and I just know, all right, you're full of shit.
Yeah.
I'm going to let you go for a second for the people around you, right? And there's a person at work I think about, and you know who I'm talking about, a very tall gentleman that always makes our conversations awkward. And I hear stories that involve me sometimes, and I'm like, this shit never happened. But I let it go for the group. But when we're walking away, like my close partner here will tell you, I've said it to you multiple times, that shit never happened.
This shit never.
And because I'm in my mind, like, does he really think I think this shit happened and it involves me? Like, that never fucking happened. And why as grown-ups do people need to lie to fit in? Why do you care so much? Not you, but people.
Because people want to be liked and they want to say things that make you like them.
Why do you want me to like you?
'Cause
Motherfucker, I go home afterward. I don't go to the bar. We don't drink. You know what I'm saying? Like, I could see if you wanted me to like you if I hung out.
there is a comedian, who was it? Was it Mulaney? But he talks about like how when you're a child and you tell your first interesting story. Remember that?
No, I
Oh,
haven't
it was
seen
Tom
this.
Segura. First
Oh, God.
interesting story, and he goes on to say how he's like, yeah, and it's like, how was your day? So I went to the park. Oh yeah, how was the park? Oh, I saw Aunt Sarah, and she wasn't with Uncle Mike. And they're like, really? And you see that look on the person's face. You're talking the first time you said something interesting, like, go on. You're like, oh, people like this topic. So that's your first taste, and then it moves
That's
on.
the
from there.
truth.
Yeah. So you want to impress people with your stories, and sometimes you got legit stories that are interesting, and sometimes you're not interesting, and you force shit, and everybody knows you're forcing it because we're all relatable. Everybody can relate to everybody else because we're all the same fucking person.
So I've been doing that to the one you asked, was it that person? I've been just saying random stories that make no sense. Just starting on this, then go to another subject in the middle of it. It makes no fucking sense. Like, whatever I'm saying makes no sense.
Yeah. It's one of those things you try to piece together and be like,
yeah. So
it almost makes sense, but it doesn't.
yeah.
You're like,
so I did it the other day, and finally that person got the point and was like, I'm gonna go take a call. I just started laughing. I'm like, yes, I'm finally understanding how to get people to walk away without being an asshole, and I kind of enjoy it. But it's a lot of fucking work.
oh man, I don't want to say what I said to somebody today.
Go ahead, I want to hear it.
No, it wasn't. It was somebody on the phone.
Okay. Like, no, it's
it wasn't bad, but it was like I got off the phone with the guy and he liked me. We perfectly got along, but the beginning of the call, he was trying to overtalk me so much. I said, "Sir, the reason is your car is so garbage." That's how the conversation started. But I had to get his attention.
yeah, and that's sometimes what you got to do. Drop a bombshell, right?
It was.
Kind of
Anyway,
like what we were talking about earlier, nuclear weapons.
yeah, nuclear weapons. Okay, this is something. Think about this. Nuclear weapons. You remember all those videos and you saw the mushroom bombs and nuclear explosion. You hear about Hiroshima and all that shit. Okay, get ready for it. Ready? Are you sitting down? Listen up. None of that shit happened. It's all fake. It's all staged. It's all fake, not real. What? Yeah. All right, y'all have a good day. No, I'm just kidding.
All right, that's how the way to end it.
No, Stacy made me go down that rabbit hole, like a fast forward right down the rabbit hole. And dude, it made perfect sense, everything you said.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so basically, and we'll talk more about this so we can put some videos up for people to see. But when you're thinking about power in a country and what do countries like to do, they like to flex. And I was talking about Putin earlier this week, talking about their hyper ballistic missiles.
Yeah, he's saying,
And
oh, yeah.
he straight up called out America and said, "You think I can't beat you? Pick a target. Let's race to it." And it's a straight up, he wants to go missile versus missile. Now, that's a hell of a demonstration of power, right? And if he's serious and he calls us on it again and we don't step up, that's concerning. Well, go back to the Cold War and World War II, and we'll go back to World War II. You want to end a war, you want to scare some shit, boom, we let off a nuclear warhead. Turns out it's a firebomb. And the reason I say this is there's no nuclear fallout. With Chernobyl, you see there's nuclear fallout. They cannot inhabit the land.
For all you nerds out there, you know the video game Fallout?
Chernobyl. So that literally is it. When you go into Japan, you see where they drop these nuclear warheads, still inhabitable, still farmable.
Birds are still around.
The places that we've dropped nuclear warheads on testing in the ocean, you don't see any kickback on the fish. So it's one of these rabbit holes I found myself going down that Maybe we do have them, but I don't think we do.
Yeah, it's
I
more
think
like
we have nuclear
the fear of
reactors.
thinking we have them.
Exactly. And this is what we did to them. Do you want that to happen to you? When you think back to 44, 45, when this shit's going on, right? There's no direct news source.
Yeah, you're not
Everything's
calling your
being
buddy in
relayed.
Japan and be like, "Hey,
It's telephone, baby.
you guys okay?"
We put in the newspaper this picture that looks like this. Well, what if we made demo houses, little construction model houses, and we video it really up close and we make it look like this is what happens when a nuclear bomb goes
And
off.
after watching the videos with you earlier with that, you start watching it and thinking of it as a model, and then you see the little car that wasn't there at first, and it's there right before the explosion. At first, it kind of looks like a model car, not a real life car. That's just too many freaking. I can see how that could be a flexing thing.
For power forever.
And
Every world power pushes for
if
power.
we in fact have nuclear bombs that do what they do,
we wouldn't have been at war for 20 years with Iraq.
People wouldn't be flying and scaring us to the drones.
You don't think we would have hit the mountains of Afghanistan
and why are
with a nuclear warhead if we really had it?
We have a guy like Elon Musk who got rich, and he flies missiles into space. Apparently, we landed on the moon back in what 1950, 60, 60. I don't know, somewhere there. I'm bad with math. Why aren't we? So much has happened between now and then. Rich people, why aren't we taking little trips to the moon and going on fucking field trips by now? On the regular. Or know somebody that has the capability.
What was his name? The dude that owns Virgin Mobile. He was trying to make that happen. And all of a sudden it just stopped.
Yeah. It's just bullshit, man.
You know damn well the rich people would have already been traveled up that
motherfucker. Oh, fuck yeah.
20,000 times.
Yeah. What would you do if you have enough money you can do whatever you want? You'd probably start by doing something.
Look at Elon Musk. He starts building rockets to go to the moon. That's when you have enough money to do whatever the fuck you want. Literally, Jeff Bezos, Elon Musk, they're all building shit to go into space. You got Starlink, you got all this wild shit. We see what happens when you give a billionaire with money or a genius a bunch of money. They start playing with shit. And the problem is, I think we're in a position now that we have the right people in power that they might start calling out some of the science fiction that we think to be scientific facts. And I think we're about to see some eye-opening evidence.
Yep. And I think conspiracy theories for days. We should just start calling the show conspiracy theories. There's so many of them out there.
There's a million of them.
Oh my!
But they're not even conspiracy theories. A lot of them are conspiracy facts. They've been proven already.
I'm telling you, I think watching movies when we're a kid, here's a good movie I thought the other day. It's called Daryl. Darryl or DAR. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Yeah, that kid. He's like a friggin' robot, and he steals a fucking jet. He flies away from NASA, crash lands in a pond, and meets up with the local family, and they basically raise him. They don't know he's a robot, and it was almost like introducing AI to us at such a young age, almost like a little dropper, because a drop is better than a flood. Little drop here, a drop here, drop here. So by the time we get to where we are now, this is acceptable because we saw movies on it when we were kids.
Where it's real?
Yeah.
It's real now.
And even to the point where in the movie, the kid had the epiphany and was taught that he has to mess up and not do everything perfect to seem more lifelike. And that the parents like to think that they're helping him by being good parents. So he has to pretend to mess up sometimes. And I remember stuff like that thinking my whole life, like if we were to make robots, they're programming me to accept this and talk to robots. I don't know. Tell us what you think.
I mean, think about the Jetsons. They have robots in the house. This goes back. Robots, AI, I think we're to a point now that humans are replaceable. Maybe we will see a nuclear warhead go off. There's enough bunkers in place now. We might get to actually see one.
You know what? I'll take front row seats.
If it's going to happen, I'd rather be closer than further.
Fucking right, bro.
Turn out. Hey, literally, I'd be the one that for the wall. Right? Blast on the wall. Oh shit.
Studying the wall like
Forever,
years from now, they'll be like,
what
was this guy doing? He was warning everybody.
You had one like this, the other like this. What kind of sign is YMCA?
Yeah.
Oh, that's fucking gold.
Yeah.
Hey, we just want y'all to really think this week. We're really big into the just giving you bits and pieces because we want you to do your own research. We're not going to try and program you. We're not the podcast that wants you to think like us. We just want to give you little tidbits and pieces, and you go on your way, do your own little research, and you never know. It might be a conversation piece at the next meal that you didn't want to be at, but you had to be at.
Yeah, as long as something we said today maybe sparked your interest or took you away from your meal for a second or distracted you enough to listen in.
Send us a message. We'd love to hear.
Friends gather here, so thanks for joining us today.
I'm Stacy.
I'm Casey.
You guys have a great night.